What's going on, guys? This is just part 2 of the James Bouknight full game breakdown. My name is Bobby Douglas, and let's get right into it. So James Bouknight, again, number 2 in the blue. He had a very good first half. For first half of the first half, he scored like 14 points in 10 minutes, and that was kind of just like, it was probably his best sequence of this game. The second half is probably going to be a little bit more of, shaky defense, maybe a few more turnovers. But overall, you're kind of just looking at the fluidity of Bouknight, I would say. It's kind of like the key appeal here. I want you to focus more like on things off the ball. I want you to just pay attention to things that maybe don't necessarily result in a positive play, but just kind of more the actions that he's taking, because I do think that's kind of the thing with Bouknight and a lot of these guys, where it's like you got to fall in love more with the process than the result. And you can see Bouknight right there. Good job getting open and getting free. Let's see what he does here. Again, decent kick out right there. But again, can't really convert anything. He looks a little bit more locked in defensively in this half. We saw at the end of the first half he was kind of, standing up upright, not really giving full effort. You see right there, he got drilled on that screen. That's going to be an offense. Yeah. So again, good job by Bouknight right there, drawing that offensive foul. And so again, he does look a little bit more engaged to start the second half. And again, he is capable of being a decent defender, I think. It's just more of a matter of, conditioning and just overall intensity, because he had games this year, especially right there as he pulls up for that mid-range too and he can't get that one to go. He had games, especially I think in the Marquette game. He only scores 6 points. He injures his elbow, and so he can't really shoot it. But then he's, getting loose balls, doing all this stuff, playing good defense, getting rebounds, things like that. So again, I think because he's such a scoring, because he has to, he's being relied on so much to score, it kind of takes away from other aspects of his game. But I saw it in the Marquette game from this season. He only has 6 points, and he knows, that he needs to do something to impact winning. And so he starts, getting loose balls, getting rebounds, things like that. So, in this game, it's probably not the best example of that, just because I think, it's his second game back from injury, and then, he is kind of like the number one scoring option, really the only UConn player that's really reliable in terms of getting the ball in the basket, so he has to kind of take on that major offensive load. But you saw when he wasn't capable of doing that, he still found ways to impact the game in other ways. So I think that's probably a little bit more encouraging as we get a foul here. But, we'll see how he ends up in the NBA. We got him on Caleb Daniels, looks like. And it's going to be a turnover on Villanova. So here's Bouknight again. Fake the DHO into a ball screen. And again, right there, just kind of dribbles himself into trouble right here. Like this, he has a decent handle, I think. It's pretty good, but he just doesn't really know how to pick driving lanes very well. So again, we saw this in the first half too, where he kind of drove right into the help. He's going to do the same thing here, where he's just kind of just driving right there. Excuse me. You're going to see Slater with the dunk. And, Villanova's they're playing up, so they're going to stunt aggressively at drivers coming from the middle of the floor. And we've seen it twice with Bouknight right there, and that's twice where he's turned it over in that kind of fashion. So he just needs to be a little bit smarter picking his driving lanes, I would say. That's kind of the takeaway there. Again, you can see he kind of looks a little bit like he's holding his calf. And again, it just really wasn't he didn't get a lot of breaks this season, with all the injuries he had, the stop and start. Obviously, COVID made it difficult for everybody, and then Bouknight obviously has a bunch of other stuff to worry about as well. Looks like he is staying in the game, though. Yeah. And again, it does say something about him that he came back to play for UConn. A lot of guys, when he was out at the beginning of the season, there was a belief that he would just kind of shut it down and prepare for the NBA draft. But he did come back. He fought through a lot of, minor injuries, things like that. Just kind of getting, bumps and bruises throughout the season, as people do. So I think that does say a lot about him. And here he is coming off that little flare screen. And again, he's kind of fronting right now, just kind of trying to do maybe a little bit too much. That floater wasn't really a good shot choice. Again, back on Cole Swider. Right there, Gillespie's going to miss that layup. Here comes UConn. It's going to be a... Here's Bouknight on the ball. Let's see what he does here. And again, pretty good handle. Again, I like how he gets low. You know, he has that kind of low center of gravity that makes him a lot more just rangy and fluid. And again, he can kind of fit into tighter windows. Let's see what he does here. Again, he's just going to switch that off the ball. There's Jeremiah Robinson-Earl. He's going to get that putback. Let's see what we got going here. That's R.J. Cole for 3. Bouknight's going to hit that, or Bouknight looked happy on that one. Oh, and I looked into the incident that I mentioned yesterday with Bouknight. So it was his freshman year, and he basically fled the scene of an accident. And that's basically what it was. So just FYI, what happened here? Why was that guy wide open? So it looks like UConn might be in his... Nope, he's on Swider. Okay, so he's just going to kind of let him in the lane out. Again, like, what is he kind of doing, like, just right here? Just kind of in the middle of the lane? Like, his guy... Is he switching this to get on Slater? You know, it just seems a little bit lackadaisical. And again, this guy's wide open. You know, I'd like to see him a little bit more energetic, I would say. But here he comes in transition. Let's see what he does here. Again, really nice crossover. That's a really, really nice play. Again, just setting him up really well, right? So we're going to see right here, you know, just setting up Cole Swider. Boom. And again, he actually had a nice pass there, too. It looks like he got fouled, and I think he's shooting free throws here. Yeah. So we will see if he makes these. Remember, he was 4 of 8 in this game, but 77.8% for the season. And he's going to miss that one. So I think he's missed all 3 of his free throws so far, which, you know, is tough. But again, I think he wasn't 100%. So I'm willing to give him a pass on that. He's going to knock that one down, especially for a 78% free throw shooter. And again, we mentioned this earlier, like the 29% three-point shooting mark. Obviously, like, you'd like to see it higher. But I already gave my reason for why I'm not worried about it. You know, just basically, I think he has NBA range. I think he's comfortable shooting from a far distance. I think the shots he took and had to take were high degrees of difficulty. So I'm not really super worried about got another stoppage here. UConn's already in the bonus with 5.5 minutes in. Got another foul here. But you know, just like kind of like the difficult shots he had to take all year. So I'm not really looking too much into the 29% thing. I think the form is good. The free throw indicator is good. The range looks good. He looks comfortable shooting from far distances. I'm kind of okay with it. We got 14 minutes left. Bouknight basically plays this entire second half, and he hasn't done too much offensively. And again, I think he's pretty much tired. So you get a turnover. Looks like a foul. Turnover. Foul. So again, now he's on Caleb Daniels. I think he was a transfer from Tulane. And that's something that's a little bit more, you know, Bouknight speed defensively. Like, we've seen him a lot on Swider and Slater, and those guys are pretty big for Bouknight to be guarding, I'd say. Right here, he's back on Gillespie. And again, this can't happen, right? This needs to be a better effort here. So again, yeah, I understand he gets switched on him here. But, like, he needs to be cutting off baseline here. Obviously, there needs to be help there, but there's just no resistance here, right? And so I think he has the tools to be a good defender. He just doesn't really seem to show it a whole lot. So it's just kind of frustrating to watch him play defense because you kind of see the upside he maybe has there, but then just, like, the effort really isn't there a lot of the time. I mean, he's no Cam Thomas, like, where Cam Thomas just literally did not give a flying fuck. Bouknight's not that bad, but he is, again, right here, similar thing, right? So, there's really no, so he kind of gets his feet stuck in quicksand here. I understand this, but, like, he's kind of just going to, like, stop competing, right? And you can see right there, he kind of willingly trails Gillespie, lets him get into the lane, doesn't really make a good effort to kind of recover there. And again, the 3 is missed, but overall, just kind of concerning habits we've seen in this game. Right there kind of gets, I think he slipped on the floor, but he's going to reset it. Let's see what he does here. Again, that's a good pull-up. He's not going to hit that. But again, I kind of like the shot there. I want to see what this lane looks like too. I wouldn't have minded to see driving too. But again, he kind of does have that shooting threat, and so that'll open up drives, especially as he becomes a more consistent shooter, right? He can make defenses pay for doing this, right? And again, he gets enough space off to take that shot, so I'm not really worried about that. Just in the second half, I just think he's pretty tired. We got a foul here. And Bouknight's actually out for a little bit, so I will skip ahead. He's out for maybe a second of game time. So, yeah, he's in here, and I believe he's in the rest of the game. Again, you can see everybody kind of battling for that rebound. Looks like it's going to be... Damn. Okay, there we go. UCONN ball. And again, this game, super low scoring, as you can see. And I mentioned this in the first half, where it's like the UConn offense in this game just becomes so aggravating, especially for somebody who bet on this game. I was all in on Bouknight at this point in the year. And I was just like, okay, he's going to carry this team to cover, right? And I think they pushed, and I forget what I had the second day. I think I lost it, and I was just like pretty upset. And here we go. Good job protecting that screen and going back door. Again, I do think he's pretty instinctual off the ball as a mover. Yeah, so I think that's something that could really kind of open up a lot of things for him. And again, I've seen comparisons to smaller scoring guards like CJ McCollum. I've seen a comparison to Donovan Mitchell. I think these are all from Kevin O'Connor at The Ringer. I personally see him as a little bit more like Zach LaVine. Obviously Jalen Green is kind of getting the Zach LaVine comps in this draft cycle, which is totally fine. He might actually end up being better than LaVine. I think Jalen Green is probably more like a, I don't even know, but he's going to be really good. I'm excited to do a video on him. I think that's Saturday. But with Bouknight, I just think the way he moves, the way he glides, I think it's just so similar to Zach LaVine. And so, it's kind of easy for me to just kind of pigeonhole him as, I don't expect him to be Zach LaVine, obviously, but, I kind of can see his career unfolding in a similar way as LaVine's did. So that's just kind of my, you can see right here, so he only has 16 points right now, and he's just kind of, he's been pretty quiet so far. Just Bouknight again. Actually, it's a pretty good job. Just kind of, that's smart from Bouknight. We got free throws here too. That was pretty funny the way he kind of just shoved this guy out there. It was kind of like the Kuzma LeBron thing. If we see it right here, yeah, we'll see it right here. Yeah, okay, you can't really see the push, but Bouknight basically shoved Andre Jackson out there to cover, and we kind of see it. We remember the classic, LeBron Kuzma thing from I think LeBron's first season there, so 2019. And we got free throws for Bouknight here. We'll see if he makes this one. It's 1-1. I think he makes that one. Yeah. Yeah, you can see Bouknight kind of push him out there. And again, nothing wrong with the form. I think he misses another free throw. But nothing wrong with the form. I think he has really good rotation on the ball. We talked about that with Zaire Williams and how it kind of corkscrews out of his hands, right? Bouknight, no issue there. Clean, solid rotation on the ball. Not worried about it. Right here, again, just kind of like the body language, right? So he's just kind of looking around like, who the hell do I guard, right? He's kind of just kind of like shrug. You know what I mean? Just kind of things like that. UConn's in a total scramble situation. Jeez. Yeah, Bouknight had to go all over the place. I don't blame him for selling out on that closeout because he was basically doing like a star drill in soccer, right? I don't know if you guys are familiar with that, but you have to go like from here to here to here to here to here, basically going all over the floor. I understand him having to just like, just do that. They all can't be Baylor defense where they're just so disciplined on that stuff. So I don't really mind that. I mean, I think it's showing good effort, and again, like that's tough, right? I think he ended up missing the shot, and we got free throws for Jeremiah Robinson Earl. He's a guy who I'm having a very difficult time evaluating him. Obviously he's been at Villanova for the last 2 years, and I just can't get I can't get a solid read on him yet. I think right now Villanova is going to be in a zone. Looks like they switched. Yeah, they're still in a zone. Bouknight's in that kind of like that dunker area, that short corner spot. Woof. This is what I mean. UConn just kept shooting shots like that the entire game, or they turned it over. Something like that, and it was just brutal to watch. Bouknight right there, a little bit lazy on the back cut. So we got deflection off of UConn. But no, going back to Jeremiah Robinson Earl, he's just a very difficult guy for me to evaluate. I'm not really sure where to put him yet. He probably won't be in my first round. Nice layup by him though, right there. But he'll probably be in that I don't really consider the first round as a good cutoff. I usually consider I would say 45 is kind of I consider these 45 guys being pretty good NBA players at some point. They have a good chance to be. Last year was kind of a rarity just because I thought that class was so deep where I was having guys outside of my top 60 and I was just okay, this guy has a legitimate chance to be good in the NBA. Obviously that helped because I did 70 of these breakdowns. And so I was watching a ton of guys play, But even guys like Nate Hinton, from Houston, and I was just this guy's going to be an NBA player. And he ended up going undrafted, I think, he was undrafted, and I was just I had him as a, second round-ish guy. Just people like that, where this year I think the class isn't as deep as 2020. I just don't think it's that good. It's at the top, it's better, so it actually kind of makes for a more interesting draft night, just because you're going to be excited if your team gets into the lottery, things like that. If you get a top 5 pick, you'll be a lot more enthused than at this point last year. But overall, I think the depth of 2021, I don't think it's as good as 2020 right there. Not much going on for UConn. And again, a lot of these shots for the last 7 minutes here, not really getting anything going. Bouknight can't really find a rhythm in the second half. And, he's kind of checked himself out of this game mentally too. You can see he's not really looking to score. He kind of had that attacker's mindset in the first half. Second half, it's been a little bit more just kind of, shoot when you're open. Other than that, don't try and create anything on your own. See right there, he gets a rebound. Let's see what he does in transition. We're going to get a foul from behind. He'll be shooting more free throws. There's the first one. And second one, good. So he makes 2 free throws right there. Big free throws for him, too. So that's good. You can see he has 18 points. So I think he hits one more 3. And then he's basically done scoring. Again, not a distributor, really just kind of a scoring guard. See right here, he's going to get the ball. And again, I do like how he's kind of just grabbing and going. And right there, I trust that to be a make most times. And again, you can see him kind of banging in the post. Good job getting his offensive rebound and kicking it out. Long possession for UConn is going to be a charge. Yep, and this is what I mean. Just the constant, like, the charges, the bad shots, the late shot clock possessions, just everything kind of just couldn't really get a bucket going. And so it was tough to watch. Very tough to watch. And here's Bouknight on Justin Moore. We got, oops, got a call. Was this a steal by Bouknight? Let's see what that's here. Again, right there. So this is what I mean. Like, he actually has, like, good kind of, he has quick hands, and, like, when he wants to be a good defender, he can be, right? So right here we see it. You know, this is on Justin Moore, and he's just going to kind of pick his pocket, right? So right here, just boom, pokes it away. I think he could do that, you know, because I think he's so fluid that it's kind of like, I think he can be a good defender. I think he's fluid enough to the point where he can disrupt ball handlers. He can get sneaky steals. It's a really nice pass. Let's see if they hit it. Nope. Again, just it was Brick City. You can see right here he's on Gillespie. And again, you can see he's kind of upright, right? So it's kind of hit and miss whether or not you get that effort. But you saw, again, like I will take that defensive possession on a Justin Moore post-up. I'll take that to the grave with Bouknight. I am a Bouknight believer. So, again, plays like that, I will, you know, rewatch and be like, hey, this is what he can do defensively, you know? And, yeah, we'll see. Right there, so I actually don't mind this closeout. Here's why. So Bouknight's going to fly by him, right? And because there's only 2 seconds left on the shot clock, I understand it, right? So I actually think he's showing good, like, awareness in terms of situation right here. And so Swider obviously pump fakes and he gets it off, but it's a rush shot, you know, all that. He almost hits it, but that's just because he's a good shooter. Then we got a foul down low, so that's just frustrating. I think it's Slater. Slater I actually kind of like as an NBA guy. I really do. I think hopefully next year he has a pretty good season because I do think he could be a good player in the NBA. He's got a good frame. I think he moves well. And there's Bouknight. Again, he's trying to get it going here. Again, he's just short on the shot. But again, just elevates well. It's just not really his half right now. First half, if you want to watch good James Bouknight, watch the first 10 minutes of the first half video that I just did. That's the best version of Bouknight you're going to see, unless you watch the UConn Creighton game, in which case then he just went bananas. That's a fun game. Right here, very bad stunt. Okay, so he's going to try and stop the ball here. He can't afford to do this. This is kind of Colin Gillespie. He's going to make this pass every single time. Bouknight gets caught ball chasing, easy backdoor for a dunk. That can't happen. That's on Bouknight. You can see him kind of just being like, you know, just, you know, the body language could be better. We got and one here for, I think that's Justin Moore, excuse me. And again, Bouknight again, just loses the ball, dribbles into tight spaces. You know, maybe that's pretty physical. But, you know, he just kind of needs to do a little bit better job picking his spots on when to drive. And here he is. He's on Gillespie. Again, he gave him kind of a lot of space, and then they're just going to switch that. Good block by number 12. We got R.J. Cole for 3. Nope. Tyrese Martin. We got a block and one. And one. There we go. Okay. And so UConn's starting to extend that defense a little bit. You can see Bouknight in that kind of that wing spot for the press. And now he's kind of falling back to Justin Moore on the weak side. And here he is on the ball. Again, UConn's pretty much switching every single screen right now. We got a open 3 for Villanova. See what Bouknight does here. Again, he's going to try and get the ball in the mid-post. Let's see what he operates here. And again, shot doesn't go in, but I like the scoring move there. You know, I think that's a shot that he can hit at any time. Then he makes a nice kick-out pass to R.J. Cole for the open 3. So overall, solid possession there offensively for Bouknight. And we're back into this press. And again, just kind of extending this defense, trying to make Villanova speed up the tempo a little bit. That's going to be a travel. Yep, easy call. Not in the NBA, but in college, that's a travel. Bouknight's open. Nope, we're going to get it inside. That needs to be a layup. There we go. All right, so right here, I was feeling pretty good. You know, like, I got UConn +8. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good right now, you know. You know, down 5, 2 minutes left. UConn's making a little bit of a push. But again, Villanova is just going to dribble the air out of the ball. Again, not much going on with Bouknight. Kind of an isolation possession for Gillespie. 2 on the shot clock. 1. That's just, what are you going to do? You know, that's just ridiculous. I think they're going to review it. No, never mind. All right, so we're back. Minute and a half left. Another foul. UConn's going to press. And again, they can't really get a steal here. Jeremiah Robinson-Earl, decent steal attempt from Bouknight, but then he's just kind of leaving his assignment defensively. Ooh, they got a foul. Ooh, huh. That's a late call. Got free throws there. And then here's UConn. Again, they're just kind of trying to get something going. They can't get a bucket here at the end. I think Bouknight hits one more 3. You got another foul. Jump ball. It's going to be Villanova ball. Yeah. So again, right here. Final minute. Not much going on. UConn's trying to foul, it looks like. Got another foul. Where was the contact there? I don't understand. And so again, here we go. 40 seconds left. Here's Bouknight. Again, just face up 3. There we go. That's a James Bouknight we love. I think this is his first field goal of the second half, right? But it's just classic off the catch, really good footwork. Notice how he just kind of gets his feet squared, and he just releases that so smoothly. There we go. That's a breath of fresh air. A breath of fresh offense. See right here. Again, decent length, and that should have been a foul or something, but obviously that's tough for Bouknight. I do appreciate the effort that he gave there. And you can see right now, this is the final. Again, they're down by 8, and this is the shot. I think UConn gets like 3 possessions here, and they just can't hit a 3. I'm just like, at this point, I was just screaming. Like RJ Cole, like Bobby's like, you know, like betting pit of hell. For missing those 2 threes, he is entered into the dungeon there. But that basically ends it. I'll pause it here. Thank you guys for watching this one. Obviously not as exciting for Bouknight as the first half video because he came out firing in that. But overall, hopefully this was pretty representative of what you guys think James Bouknight is. And again, it's going to come down to how much you value the scoring. For me, I'm very high on his scoring package. I think he can score at all 3 levels. I think he's athletic, he's bouncy, he's fluid. And so I'm going to be higher on him, right? But if you don't think the scoring is really going to translate that well, or if you think he's just going to kind of be like a spark plug bench scorer, then you're probably going to be a little bit lower on him, and I totally understand that as well. You know, hopefully you guys have a better idea of where he is and where he stands in this class. And yeah, I will see you later today for Cade Cunningham. Cade Cunningham, #1 player in the draft. So really excited for that video, and that'll come out later today or maybe tomorrow morning. So stay tuned for that. Other than that, thanks guys so much for watching, and I will see you soon for Cade. Bye.